We go to Irish bars on Cinco de Mayo and Mexican bars on St. Patrick's Day to avoid the crowds.
That's genius.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the Craft Beer Republic. Thanks for drinking. Thanks for joining. I'm hanging out with my favorite senor, and that is Flex. What's happening, big fella?
Hola, everybody.
¿Cómo estás?
Hero De Niro.
Ah, sí, y muchos tacos.
Sí.
Yeah. Todos los tacos del mundo.
Yeah, as we boast our bilingual skills, we are recording on Cinco de Mayo.
We are. Sí. Mucho recording on Cinco de Mayo.
See?
Yeah.
So hopefully everybody got their Cinco de Drinko on.
Yeah, hope you're out there fiestaing it up and all that good shit. We're here for you, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, we were invited to all the exclusive Cinco de Mayo parties. Yeah.
Now we're here.
Yeah, we had to give out a lot of apology letters. Like, sorry, we got a show to do because we're famous.
Yeah, we gotta record, guys. The world will not spin unless we
in
record.
demand. Yeah, apologies in advance, but hasta la vista.
Kind of a big deal that the world needs us. So.
Kind of. Finland, what would they do?
They wouldn't listen to podcasts.
Probably because they don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo, and we got to keep the world spinning for them.
I wonder what they do celebrate.
Must be some drunk Finnish holidays, and don't they do like the no pants thing where they get so hammered they lose their pants or something like that?
Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Anyways, enough about us. Actually, more about us. Follow us on the socials at Craft Beer Republic, at FlexMeBeer _ in between. 805-538-BEER 2337. It's a number to call. Got a lot to get to today. I'm drinking a beer from some work travels that I'll be telling you about. Did a little research on the road, some booze news, and so much more. First, shout out to New York City for being our top listening city of the week.
Hey, New York.
That feels like big baller status. New York City.
It's like, what, the largest city in the U.S.? Population?
Is it the largest population? It might be.
Maybe.
You know what? I'll believe it.
Fact check me.
I could fact check that while we move on to the next thing. All right. I'm going to look that up, and I'm also going to hydrate. I am drinking, thanks to my travels, Radiant Brewing's Enlightened Energy. It is a hazy pale ale. You know, Greggy likey. 5.7%, a 384, only 64 ratings. They say, move with the clarity of enlightened energy. This is a hazy pale ale that moves through infinity with tropical vibrations. Mango, pineapple, lychee, guava, and tangerine provide hit after juicy hit in this low bitterness, medium carb can of enlightenment. And Flex, if I may, I would just like to point out the color and haze on this gorgeous beverage I'm holding.
That is wonderful.
If somebody said to you, like, what should a hazy pale look like? I feel like this is it.
Oh yeah, you could tell by the color that it's not heavy.
Right.
It's still hazy. It's got that light yellow straw color to it. Kind of a little not so hazy at the bottom. Like it's hazy, but the haze fades a little bit, and that's what it looked like through my camera.
Part of that is the glass, the shape of the glass kind of narrows. Anyways, it's my official Radiant glass too. I'm
I
full
did
Radiant
whore.
Yeah. Anyways, on the Flex nailed it. It is perfectly hazy straw, light in color. Not very see-through. On the schnoz, tons of tangerine hitting the old schnozzaroonie. I don't know what I'm saying. A little bit of pineapple. I think I'm picking up on some mango as well. I'm going to dig in the tongue jobber. Yeah, tongue follows suit. Tropical fruit salad. The perfect amount of carbonation. There's that medium carb where it washes down clean, doesn't sit on your tongue too long, but it's not overcarbonated. It is glorious. We all know I'm a whore for hazy pales.
Sounds wonderful, and I'm uber jealous.
Dude, it is so good. So like I said, I was traveling for work, and I tried to go to, I think it's called Villains Brewing Company. In fact, Chu called in once and said he had a bad time there. And they've been around for about a year or so at this point. I thought, we'll go check it out. I know they got barbecue on the menu, and I don't think I've had any of their beers yet. It's not far from Radiant and where I had to be for work. Tried to go, absolutely no parking. And so I was like, I'll circle the neighborhood. Went to circle the neighborhood. All the signs are like, no business parking. Cars will be cited. I'm like, oh, then what am I supposed to do? So did a little more circling and went down the street to Radiant. And I was not disappointed. So this was great. They have food now at Radiant. Had myself a little Caesar salad.
How was it?
It was good. I mean, just, chicken Caesar salad, basic, salad, yeah. but nothing wrong with it. It was great. Hit the spot. And I forget the other beer I had. Good, but this one really fucking bonerized for me. So I grabbed myself a 4-pack and hit the road.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, love me some Radiant.
Gotta grab a 4-pack when you're bonerized.
That's right. I had one when I got back to the hotel room. Had to relieve the boner. So had one, came home with a 3-pack. And so good.
That's amazing.
Yeah. If you're gonna have to travel for work, at least there's some things to look forward to. In fact, I got to do some traveling this week.
There are pros to the cons.
Exactly. So, biggest cities by population: number 3, Chicago; number 2, Los Angeles; and by over double everyone else, number 1, New York City. You were correct.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
makes me feel so smart. Almost
9 million people in New York City.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
A lot of people. LA is pushing insane. 4 million. So crazy.
That's let's see, 4 million. That's 10 times Milwaukee.
And that's just the official city of, like, the LA area, I think is 14 million or 15 million, something like that.
Yeah, I think the city of Milwaukee is just a hair under 500,000. So, yeah, not that major.
Major for Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's probably 100% accurate.
Yeah. What is your capital city there? I'm blanking.
Madison.
Madison. Is Madison bigger or smaller than Milwaukee?
Smaller.
Oh, okay. So Milwaukee is the biggest city in Wisco.
In Wisconsin, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
500,000.
It's like Milwaukee, Madison, and Green Bay. I think.
I'm going to take your word for it.
I might be wrong on Green Bay.
I'm not even going to fact check.
No. Who needs to?
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm right all the time.
Right. 100% of the time. Anyway. Oh, speaking of drinking on the road, after I had my boner reducing can of beer back at the hotel, I wanted a glass of wine to finish the night off. Because we're old and get bloated. It's because I'm classy. I was like, I just want a glass of wine. I had a couple beers, need a glass of wine, and then I'm going to sleep. Went down to the hotel bar. Hey, what do you got in the red department? And he goes, oh, cabs in, blend, something else. Great. I said, I'll do cab. He goes, you got choices. We have the Justin cab and the Wenti cab. And I went, all right. I know the Justin cab. I know the bottle is around $30 retail, grocery store price bottle of wine. Wenti, I have no idea. So I thought, all right, well, I'll go with what I know. Justin, if it's a $30 bottle, we're in a hotel, we're looking somewhere in that $15 to $17 glass of wine price. Hotels are always a little pricier.
Oh, yeah.
6 or 9 ounce. Let's go big. Give me a 9 ounce. Flex, would you like to take a guess at how much my 9 ounce pour of cab cost me when I know it's a $30 bottle of wine?
I'm going to say $36.
Okay, not quite that bad. It was $28 before tax and tip.
That's
I just bought a fucking bottle of wine.
See, that's the worst. That's how I feel like going to sporting events too and buying a beer. And you're like, oh, yeah, that was a 6-pack of that beer. But now I just have the one. So that's great.
Yeah, 3 beers and I just bought your keg.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was so pissed. I was like, and he never handed me a menu. He was just asking me, oh, Josh, or Justin? No, Josh. I think it was Josh. Whatever it was. I was like, oh, yeah, no menu needed. I know what I'm getting here. How much could it be? Not more than $17. All right, 9 ounce, maybe 21, 22. Nope, 28. Motherfucker. I was like, oh, the last time I ordered wine here.
Airport pricing.
Oh, dude, it was the worst. And then the receipt said, like suggests 20% tip on there. I'm like, I'm not giving you 20% on a $28 glass of wine.
That's the weird thing about like tipping for drinks too, is do you tip the percentage or is it like $1 or $2 a drink?
All right. So because what is that? That is a $5.60.
That's a $5 tip on one glass.
Yeah, exactly. That ain't going to happen, big boy. So back in the day when I was starving student or just a cheap ass, it was like $1 a drink, unless it was a cocktail. But if it was just beer or wine, $1 a drink.
Right.
Just flat out. Then as I started to make a little more money, and especially like as COVID hit and people were needing the money a little bit more, I just went 20% if I ordered food, 20% across the board. I wouldn't do the separate maths. I uncheaped a little bit.
Right.
So that's the long answer of what I tip. So it used to be $1, maybe $2 per drink. Cocktails, $2 to $3, unless it's like fancy, that kind of thing.
Right.
Sliding scale for cocktails. And now I'm a little slightly more generous, but I'm not tipping $5.60 on one glass of wine.
Yeah, that's trash.
That's what the glass of wine should have cost. So what about you? What's your alcohol tipping situation?
So usually like $1 or $2 per beer.
Yeah.
I rarely get cocktails, but when I do get cocktails, it's usually with food. So then that's usually falls under that, anywhere between the 18 to 25%, depending on how the service was.
Right.
Because I'm not just going to fork a tip over to somebody just because it says I should.
Right. If you're a total piece of shit, I'm not giving you 20%.
Great. Which we don't completely stiff people, but
no.
If somebody's a poor server, waitress, waiter, whatever you want to be, 15,
yeah, exactly.
Like, it's just, I'm not going to give you money for doing a shit job.
Yeah, this will not be rewarded.
Somebody wouldn't give me money for doing a shit job, so why would I give,
if I got to be fired.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. I miss being in Europe. They don't even expect tips from you. It's like, oh, you tipped. That's really awesome of you. Thank you so much.
I had no idea about that.
Well, at least in Portugal, when you used the credit card things in Portugal, they didn't even have a thing, because it was all like wireless. They didn't even have a thing to tap tip. You just scan your card and like, all right, here's your receipt. Have a great day. It's like, oh, I wanted to give you a couple dollars. Like, oh, if you have euro, but if not, that's fine. We appreciate you coming in.
Weird.
Because they get paid a living wage.
Well, yeah, that's right. Because Europe's awesome like that.
Yeah, Europe's awesome like that. Food is a million times cheaper than here, and they still get paid a living wage. Wonder how they can afford that. Stupid us.
Well, enough about that.
Anyways, I digress. So as today is Cinco de Mayo, did you go out for any Mexican lagers or tacos?
I did not go out, but we did make tacos. Let me try to think. Yesterday,
okay,
we made a big crock pot of chicken tacos.
Cuatro de Mayo.
So I did have leftover tacos, and we're really in the midst of wanting summer because it's still not great weather here. It's like today was high of 59.
Our high today was 65. Not far off.
We've had like the rainiest April on weather or on record. So it's been really shitty. So when we made tacos, my wife, we went to the store, we got stuff to make a nice bowl of pico. So I was able to just nosh on a shit ton of pico, which
fresh salsa is the best.
It doesn't get much better than that.
No, it really doesn't.
No. So that's about as Cinco de Mayo-y as I got.
Sí, muy bien. Yeah, I didn't do a whole lot better than you. Tacos tonight for dinner. And that's about it.
What kind of tacos, though?
Carnitas.
Okay. I respect that.
Yeah. The Costco in our hood has this really good like pre-made carnitas. You can microwave, you can drop it in a pan, whatever you want. I like to drop it in a pan, add just a little bit extra seasoning, kind of bump up that flavor a little bit.
Doctor up a bit, right?
Just a little doctoring. And it is so good. It's surprisingly good for something that can be like just reheated and served.
Yeah, that always is shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever had Bob Evans mashed potatoes?
I don't think so.
Oh, man. I don't know if it's a regional thing, but they sell them at grocery stores in our state, and they're just the best goddamn mashed potatoes I've ever had in my entire goddamn life.
Way to go, Bob.
It does not get better than Bob Evans mashed potatoes.
I'll have to look out for Bob Evans mashed potatoes. I lived on boxed mashed when I had my wisdom teeth pulled out. Like 2 solid weeks of just boxed mashed potatoes and like our off-air conversation, lots of chocolate pudding.
Oh yeah,
it's like all I could put down. They fucked up my mouth so hard.
That's not good, man.
No, I got like addicted to Vicodin.
So did I. I got addicted, and within 3 days, I got addicted to Vicodin.
I was on it for like 2 solid weeks. Like when I walked out, the doctor goes, here's, I forget, whatever, 3-day supply, 5-day supply. He goes, we messed around in there. You're going to need more.
No way.
He goes, do not let it run out. Call me and refill it before you go empty, or you will be in massive amounts of pain.
No way.
And I said, yes, sir, doc. And I think I did like 3 total fills on it. And after like 2 weeks, it was like 2 straight weeks. And I was in legitimate pain, but I also was enjoying the Vicodin. And when it was time to like run out of Vicodin, I started getting the sweats from it. I was like, man, I need to not do this for a while.
Dude, I started shaking, and it was only like 3 days. So the doctor gave me like, it was like 12, prescribed me kind of 12. And you said like take them every 4 hours. And I really liked it because it helped me sleep. Like my mouth hurt so bad that all I wanted to do is not be awake.
Sure.
So then by the end of that 3rd day, because I was taking about 4 a day, I woke up, got some breakfast, and I went to my pill bottle on the windowsill, and it was empty. And I physically started shaking, and I started freaking out, and I found my younger brother, who I knew was into shady stuff and had friends who were into shady stuff.
And you sucked his dick for coke?
I grabbed him by his collar, and I shoved him up against the wall.
Wow.
And I accused him of taking my shit. And he was like, dude, what are you talking about?
He's like, I got way better stuff.
And I let him go, and I grabbed the bottle, and it said quantity 12. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, that's 4. Shit, that's some strong stuff.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it was, now it's on my, which I hear pharmacists hate this, but it is on my allergy list. When I go to the doctor,
just so they don't
prescribe it, because I do not enjoy it.
Yes, you do.
No,
and that's the problem.
I really don't.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff. I haven't had it forever, but if you want it to last a little longer, you wash it down with a cold beer.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff, man. I tell you. Oh, anyways, we should move on before we really sound like drug addicts.
Drug or craft drug republic. Damn it.
Damn it.
Not a good ring to it.
Have you ever crushed them up and no, I'm just kidding. I honestly have never snorted anything.
I cooked mine.
Can I borrow a spoon? Oh, fuck. Anyways, hey, I wanted to give a shout out to Steph, who was on the show the last couple of weeks. And this weekend is her great beer mashup festival, Beer Fest. So if you're in the Salt Lake area, make sure you grab some tickets. And if you're not in the Salt Lake area, go to the fucking Salt Lake area.
Probably in the Provo area.
There's only 2 areas in Utah. As you and I confirmed without her help, only 2 areas in Utah, Provo or Salt Lake. And
other cool Utah news, by the way, is their leaked hockey team name.
Oh, what is it?
They leaked it and they deleted the YouTube account and everything, but they're going to be the Utah Mammoth.
Oh.
Which I think is pretty neat.
Not like the Utah Sister Wives or something?
No, it was between the Utah Hockey Club, the Utah Mammoths, and Utah Outlaws, which
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, it's like the furthest thing from.
Yeah. I am so sick of the club thing with teams. Like so-and-so football club, so-and-so hockey club.
It was cool.
Super creative.
The first time it happened.
Right. And it's a very European thing too. Like we're a little better over here,
right?
With the whole naming of our teams. Sometimes until they switch cities, and you have the Utah Jazz and the New Orleans Hornets
and the LA Lakers, and
right. But when they first get named, prior to moving,
pretty solid jobs
when they're not racist. And just the whole Utah Hockey Club. It's like, okay, super creative. What is your mascot? Hockey stick?
A Mormon.
A guy with like 5 wives next to him.
Got a book in one hand and a hockey stick in the other. It writes itself.
Yeah, it's perfect. So, speaking of Steph, I have to say we got lots of feedback on last week's show First of all, hey, bud, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
People thought that Flex was big mad.
No, not mad at all.
It was kind of funny.
I explained to Greg off air. It's one of those situations where when you are an asshole like myself, and you get put into a situation against another asshole like Steph, huge asshole,
giant,
and they're out assholing you, there's not much you can do. It makes you feel inferior, you know, on the asshole levels.
Right.
So yeah, that's about all that was going on. She was great.
Yeah. Well, feedback was received. People were concerned about the homie Flex.
We good.
They were concerned that Steph was being too mean to him and that he got really mad. And so,
no, because what people don't know is I can be just as mean to Steph.
Right.
And it happens. So
right. It just doesn't always happen on a podcast.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Rosie O'Donnell.
That was, yeah. Okay. That was mean.
Was that on the show? That was on the show, right?
No, I can't remember.
I think it was at least mentioned on the show.
I don't remember anything. Once we get done recording, it's
I feel you.
I come out from blackout and nothing.
Yeah, same. Yeah. All right. Well, before we move on to some news, let's do some question asking and find out what the big man over there is sipping on.
In a world where craft beer is king, a world where muscles are bigger than growlers, only one tongue can guide us. One man, one tongue, one tongue jobber. In this world, we must find out what is Flex drinking.
So I kind of have a fun beer and a fun story today. So I had a friend reach out to me. It was actually a week ago. And he said, "Hey, Derek, this is John. Not to be confused with not murderer John."
Oh, different John.
He says, "This is John who drinks Coke up at Eagle Park. I have a beer for your podcast if you're interested." And then he goes on to explain what this beer is, which then I will explain to you guys. So John is good friends with some people who own a bar locally. Okay. And they're called Spitfires on State. And they were trying to figure out a celebration, an event to have. And he said about 4 or 5 years ago, they decided nobody ever does anything for Arbor Day.
True.
So they said, let's do an Arbor Day Fest. And they've been doing an event for, like I said, about 4 or 5 years. And they've partnered up with Explorium Brew Pub, who's my local
the mall
brew pub. And they've been collabing on a beer. I believe he said this is the second year on the beer. Last year, they didn't can it. They just barreled it. This year, they put it into cans, and it is called Our Bar Day, right? Like OUR, BA, instead of Arbor Day. It's Our Bar Day. It's very clever.
That is.
They have some really cool Bob Ross painted in a pint of beer, and it's an American lager. And John was nice enough to come to my place of work and drop this off for me.
So what you're saying is he's stalking you?
Maybe Stalker John. Maybe.
Yeah.
Not a good nickname.
Yeah.
No.
It's getting a little wordy.
So Untapped, I don't know if anybody ever checks this beer in, who gets cans of it. I am completely unaware because it has 3 check-ins. It's the only one I could find.
They don't even list a rating for 3 chickens.
No, they don't. But it is a 5% American lager. And the description reads, slightly woody, amber in color, medium bodied, subtle sweetness, clean and crisp with a malty finish. So it's definitely coppery. It's ambery. Yeah. I like it. The smell is super duper crisp, a little bit of sweetness, very delicious. And then warming up the old tongue jobber.
Was that a swish?
Damn it. So a little bit of sweetness in there. I guess it's medium bodied for a lager, but I think it's pretty light myself. Super low carbonation. Not too much of a malty finish, but like this is really good. Like it is a really good crusher. And I would probably drink, if I had 12 of these, I would drink all 12. Like, this is a wonderful game day beer, as we like to call it.
Yeah.
Or a tailgate beer. And I think Explorium did a fine job with it. So hopefully that they keep doing this Arbor Day event, because who the hell celebrates Arbor Day? Or let alone has a event for it at a bar. But I think the idea of it is hilariously wonderful.
I like that. And it's a holiday that because no one really does anything for it besides maybe they plant a tree or some shit.
Yeah.
You can drum up a little like social marketing there. It's not, your Arbor Day posts aren't going to get buried like your Cinco de Mayo post or some shit like
or your
that.
Christmas posts or National IPA Day or whatever.
Exactly. Hey, can I give a quick shout out to the beer community on Instagram? I saw far fewer like cheesy, potentially racist Cinco de Mayo posts on the gram today than I normally do. Usually it's, some white person eating a taco, drinking like a Pacifico or something. And happy Cinco de Mayo. I have not seen any of those today. Maybe I'm just doing the wrong scrolling, but it's been great.
Cinco de Mayo, it's just so funny to me.
It's like the whitest holiday ever.
It's the whitest. Well, let's not say that. It is the most Americanized.
Right. It's most taken over.
Right. Because it was the anniversary of a battle, but an anniversary that literally lasted 1 year. The Mexicans fended off some other country.
Was it France?
I can't remember. And they were all psyched, right? And it happened on May 5th.
Yeah. By the way, not their Independence Day, everybody.
No. And then almost a year later to the day, that other country came back in and thwarted off and massacred them all, and which is why they don't celebrate it in Mexico. And it's kind of goofy.
Yeah. So Cinco de Mayo marks the anniversary of the 1862 victory by Mexican troops over invading French forces at the Battle of Puebla.
Yeah, there you go. Battle of Puebla. That's what it is. Right on.
Yeah. I do like the misconception. Many in the U.S. mistakenly believe Mexico's Independence Day, leading to commercialize the broader celebration outside of Mexico.
Oh, yeah. But if you're an American company, man.
Yeah, jump on it.
You want to sell product.
Right.
Market the hell out of it.
Sure. Cinco de Drinko, everyone. Woo! Anywho.
Nailed it.
All right. A little news before we get out of here. Belgium, man, fucking Europe does it right, dude. Let me tell you. The Belgians, there's a brewery out there where they hunted for hidden beers for Easter.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm going to butcher this, but Luutgard Brewery in Belgium swapped painted eggs, probably because they're too expensive, for frothy brews when it celebrated Easter with the world's biggest beer hunt, the 5th annual Easter event at the Iwires Garden in Lasny, Belgium. Sorry,
this all sounds good, really good to me.
I nailed it. Saw over 1,000 registered hunters searching the grounds for 12,000 hidden bottles of beer.
Okay, I was just going to ask, were they packaged beers?
Yeah.
Or were they like actual poured out pints hidden?
That'd be hilarious.
Because that would be hilarious.
Yeah. Hidden among the beers was a special golden bottle, which earned its finder a prize of his weight in beer. Pays to be fat. Yeah. The event began Sunday with a chocolate egg hunt for children at noon, and then the beer hunt commenced at 12:30. A barbecue at 1:30 allowed the hunters to relax and enjoy some of their collected beer bounty.
The kids' egg hunt lasts 30 minutes.
Right.
12,000 beer.
Could you imagine that they did them at the same time, just like adults, like, get the fuck out of the way, you little shit.
Just think about how, I feel like that would have to be quite the duration of a Easter beer hunt.
Yeah.
I mean, 12,000 beers, and one of them is a golden bottle, which I'm sure blends into something.
Well, and I was thinking, like, who's hiding 12,000 bottles of beer? Good Lord. It's a lot of work. I'm sure it's not one person, but
I'm sure if you went to work one day and the boss who was already paying your wage said, hey, this is what I need you to do for the day, I think you're just kind of like, oh, yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll fucking do it.
Yeah. Hey, did you get all 12,000 hidden? It's more like 11,900, but yeah, they got hidden. Job's done, boss.
Oh, man.
In all this uncertainty in the beer and even wine industry, Boston Beer is bucking the sales trends. Boston Beer Company had a more positive start to fiscal year 2025 compared to the company's recent quarterly performances. The company's shipments grew 5.3% year over year to 1.7 million barrels, primarily due to the increase from Twisted Tea, Hard Mountain Dew, and vodka-based hard tea Sun Cruiser, which partially offsets declines from Truly Hard Seltzer.
I've heard the Sun Cruisers those are the iced tea vodka ones.
Yeah.
I've heard those are good. I have not had them.
I have not either. I've not even seen them yet.
I've never had a Twisted Tea, and I don't think I ever will.
I'm not even a tea fan, like normal tea.
Oh, really? I love iced tea.
Oh, I don't.
A little bit of lemon in it, maybe some raspberry. Daddy like.
I will drink an Arnie Palmy, but that's as close as I get.
Okay, so half tea.
Half tea, half lemonade, and some vodka.
Oh, really? Because I just discovered this
John Daly.
This Liquid Death iced tea flavor.
Oh.
Non-carbonated, sweetened with like agave nectar and shit like that. It's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
if you like tea.
Just to me, it tastes like dirty water.
Yeah, see, no. I think it's delicious and refreshing. And
all right.
It's like the equivalent of your mom. Got him.
Oh, she's not very refreshing.
But yeah, no, I guess it makes sense because those Sun Cruisers are everywhere. I see commercials all the time now.
I don't think I've seen them in the wild yet, or I'm just not looking because I don't care.
I've seen people drink them. People have sent me pictures of them drinking them. Like I said, commercials are everywhere now.
Send me your nudes of you drinking Sun Cruiser, everybody, especially Flex.
I didn't say I was drinking.
Just, I want to see the drink. Definitely not your nudes. I'm going to get so many dick pics for that one.
I hope so.
Not what I was hoping for. A couple months ago, talked about when I was in Austin and went to Blue Owl Brewing, actually on the suggestion of Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa.
And they have just recently sold the East Austin Brewery, located at 2400 East Cesar Chavez Street, was bought in March by brothers Tony and Ian Norris for an undisclosed amount of money. Jeff Young, a former co-owner, plans to stay on as executive brewer. Young said the brewery struggled amid the pandemic and continued to do so afterwards, particularly with the upcoming generation known as Gen Z, drinking fewer alcoholic beverages. Overall, the business needs to find its niche in the current market. Hope they do well. They specialized in sours, and they did some pretty good fucking sours.
I do like sours. I really do.
They were good. I hope they do well.
And then trying to get away from like those high ABVs. Sours are right.
Yeah. We even brought some home.
That perfect range, 4 or 5%.
Well, they not only did they do cans, but they did like normal sized, 12-ounce cans. So we brought a 6er of those, and they're like 4.5%.
Hell yeah.
It's perfect, and they're delicious. I think they're Pog sours, if I remember correctly.
Oh man, it's been a minute since I've had something Pog.
Yeah, so good. So, but it's not like sugary and sticky. It's like light and effervescent and
how perfect. A sour should be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A rare beer sells for more than $100,000.
Is this the most alcoholic beer on the planet?
No, it's old and disgusting.
Gross.
Thanks to Scott for sending this one in. Last month, a special can of Mystery sold at auction for a whopping $111,000, probably more than most of us pay for a bit of Pilsner. But here's how the can has reportedly fetched high sums multiple times. This is, in our estimation, the rarest and most desirable crown tainer and among the very best cans in the hobby, said the can's Maureen Auctions description. Crown tainers are a style of beer can that have funnel-shaped cone tops, apparently. According to a Facebook post from Brewerania, the 12-ounce White Chief Oshkosh container from the Oshkosh Brewing Company in Wisconsin was probably made around 1951, though details from the era are fuzzy, and it's possibly older. Maureen spoke to previous owner Bob McCoy about the can's provenance. There was already demand for the can, the only one of its kind known to exist today, early on in this tale. It features a graphic label depicting a large, well-designed image of Chief Oshkosh in full feathered headdress. In the 1970s, the children of Oshkosh Brewing's president had their eye on a car owned by the mailman that was for sale for $300. They're able to work out a deal thanks to Paul Essingler, who wanted the can. They got $300 for the can, and then they bought the car with it. By 1980, a man named Dave Peck had gone through extensive efforts to buy the can from Paul Esslinger, who eventually sold the can to Peck for $600. Sometime between 1981 and 1993, How do you not know? That's 12 years. A man named Chet Bartle acquired the Chief can. It's unclear if he got it from Dave Peck or someone else. Kurt Boster of Columbus, Ohio, acquired the can in 1994, along with others collected by Bartle in a deal brokered by Dick Cowhey. Dick. A prominent beer can dealer. 4 years later, McCoy bought the can along with other Crown Tainer cans. It was the crown jewel of a mind-boggling collection of about 195 Crown Tainers, for which Bob paid $81,000 for at the time. During the time, Paul Esslinger, who allegedly regretted parting with the can, reportedly tried to get it back from McCoy. He even had an exact reproduction of the can that was carved out of wood and hand-painted that he presented to McCoy in an unsuccessful attempt to get it back. More than a decade later, Maureen acquired the can and sold it to a private collector in Minnesota named David Hulke. In 2013, a man named Gene Judd bought the can from Hulke. In 2015, Bill Jacoby acquired the can from Judd. Another owner acquired the can from Jacoby in 2019 and then consigned it to Maureen Auctions this year, where it sold for $111,000, a record for Maureen Auctions on March 9th that beat out 137 other bids.
Wow.
Too much history, but good Lord, that is an expensive can of beer.
See, so I looked up Cone Top beers or Crown Tainer beers.
Crown Tainers, yeah.
It says they entered the scene in September 1935 when G. Heilman Brewing Company of La Crosse, Wisconsin first marketed them.
Oh, look at you guys over there.
So, yeah, I guess Wisconsin doing, always doing something with beer.
Leave it up to those Wiscos to figure out how to drink beer faster.
Yeah, I'm convinced they just invented beer in Wisconsin.
Definitely not like Germany.
Never. No, it's just
ancient China.
No, ancient Wisconsin.
Definitely wasn't the monks or anything like that.
Nope. It was like Wisconsin, 1500 BC.
the native Wisconsians. Makes sense. First ever buffalo beer or something.
It's just what I imagine, all right?
It makes sense, yeah. They teach that in school. We'll leave everyone with this one. Drunk ex-cop accused of slapping male flight attendant's butt after professing his love on JetBlue plane.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. A former California... Oh, no, it's California. Feels like Florida. A former California Highway Patrol captain was indicted on federal charges for allegedly slapping a male flight attendant's buttocks before exposing himself to another crew member while intoxicated on a JetBlue flight.
Gotta start riding JetBlue.
You're missing out on the party. Dennis Woodbury, 49, was charged with abusive sexual contact for whacking the male flight attendant's backside while he was collecting meal trays during an April 13th flight from Florida. Oh, here we go. From Florida to California.
Okay,
now it's
that
making
makes sense. Yeah.
The Azusa, which is California, the Azusa resident was drinking heavily on the LAX bound flight, also professed his love to the steward after the disturbing incident. They wrote distributing. It's hard to read when you don't write the right words. Prosecutors said the sloshed passenger showed another male attendant a photo of his dog that had a pornographic image in the background and told him he should join him on a cruise while making a crude hand gesture shortly after boarding the plane in Fort Lauderdale.
It looked something like this.
Yes, an up and down motion with the hand is my guess. The unruly passenger's behavior escalated when he walked to the front of the plane, pulled down his pants, and flashed his genitals to the JetBlue employee.
Oh, man.
He later asked the same steward for wine, a request that was denied, before dropping trow a second time, prompting the attendant to scream, "Enough! Go back to your seat."
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm sure they can't touch him or
want to, for that matter.
But restrain him or contain him.
Who knows? He cannot be contained.
He clearly cannot be contained.
Woodbury, who was reportedly fired from his job, was arrested after the plane landed in LA. Both flight attendants told law enforcement they did not consent to Woodbury's inappropriate behavior. He appeared in federal court last month and is free on $50,000 bond.
Jesus.
I've been pretty drunk on a plane before. I have yet to A, profess my love to a flight attendant, or especially B, take off my fucking pants.
Yeah, mostly because I hate interrupting people. like getting up out of my seat to walk by them, to even go to the bathroom.
Same.
So I feel like I would be the same way if I wanted to get up and drop trowel mid-playing, you know?
Right. Like, oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry to get up, but zip.
Plus then people would look and go,
Yeah, I've seen better. Seen worse, but I've seen better.
maybe he's a grower.
Fingers crossed.
Got the guy next to him. Hopefully, you know.
It's very Wedding Singer. It's like, and because we let our first class plane, first class
passengers do. Want.
Yeah. Exactly.
Love that movie.
Oh, so good. I was on TV the other day and I was like, I can't stop watching this for some reason.
Because it's brilliant.
Brilliant. Such a good movie. So, all right. I think that's a perfect place to wrap things up. I'm going to hit some music. I'm going to say follow us on the socials. Grab your pug. Flex me your beer. Underscores in between. 805-53-BEER. 2337. Mail at craftbeerrepublic.com. All the things.
Every one of them.
Every single last one of them. Hope everyone out there is staying very well hydrated.
And on that note,
good night, everybody.